Yes. So now we have to look through the foreign trade section as well as the demographic condition of the colonial era. India was an important trading, what you can say, trading destination during the colonial period. As you all know, we were exporting the cheaper raw materials for Britain countries, right? So we were the consumers for all those industrial finished products by the Britain country, and you know, these colonial government possessed a very restrictive trade rules or very restrictive trade restrictions to change the pattern of foreign trade in India. You can see we were the exporters of the primary products such as the rose silk, cotton, wool, sugar, indigo, jute, etc. But an importer of the finished consumer goods like cotton, silk and woolen clothes, as well as the capital goods like machinery, plants, etc. And you can see, for all practical purposes, Britain maintained a monopoly control over India's exports. So that itself says that our exports of the raw materials, cheap raw materials, were strictly under the monopoly power of Britain. Britain were controlling our export pattern. Then, Britain, as a result, more than half of India's foreign trade was restricted to Britain, while the rest was allowed with other few countries. So, half of the exports or half of the foreign trade was only allowed with Britain for India, and rest half were also like what you can say it was available to other countries or allowed to other countries like Sri Lanka, Ceylon, Persia, China, like that. Then, the most important characteristic of India's foreign trade throughout the colonial period was a generation of the large export surplus. We were exporting so much of raw materials that we could generate an export surplus. But all these export surplus were maintained and managed by British people. So they were actually using all these surplus for not the welfare of the people, but the what you can say, payment for the day-to-day activities of the Britain government or the colonial government. So these were so it is very clearly noticed that the export surplus which we were generating by exporting the cheap raw materials to Britain, actually we were not using that for Indians. Actually they were used by the colonial people for payment of day-to-day activities in colonial era. So that was a very important thing to note in the foreign trade period. Then comes the demographic condition. Demography means it is a study of population. So it was in 1881 when the first census of India was collected by the British people, and also subsequently every 10 years such a census operations were carried out in India. So before, you know, there are 5 stages of demographic development. We were into second stage after 1921. Second stage, in the first stage, birth rate as well as death rate is on a high note. In the second stage, birth rate is falling, birth rate is more, but death rate is falling. Death rate is falling because of the advancement in the hospitals, medical care, all such things. But birth rate is on a still high note because of the religious belief that one more student in or one more child in a family means more income for the family. So at that particular point of time, there were more religious belief that a family needs more than what you can say 7 or 8 children. That means that can contribute more to their income of the family. So at that particular point of time, by 1921, we moved into the second stage of demographic development, and also population growth was at a high stage. That is, birth rate was more at that time. And the various social development indicators was also a very poor note. You can say the literacy rate, you can say mortality rate, infant mortality rate, life expectancy. Life expectancy was only at 32, where the average age was 63 years. So it was only 32 years contrast to the present 63 years. Presently it is 63, or now very recently it is 55. So compared to all the recent developments, it was only 32. Just imagine, up to 32 years only a person can live in the colonial era. Okay, so that contribute, or from that you have to understand that what were the medical conditions or medical care given to the people. So that was all about the demographic situation. All these things were in an alarming situation. So infant mortality rate, that is the number of infant who die before the age of 1 per 1000 birth. Then mortality rate, an average number of children that a woman can have. Then you can say literacy rate, the basic education a student gets up to 14 years. All such things were a very, what you can say, a stagnant number, which showed a very low development of all these social indicators. So apart from these stagnant in economic indicators, social indicators also were showing a very alarming situation that forced our Indian economy to be independent. So now we have to move through the occupational structure as well as the infrastructure.